Hi everyone, I hope all is well. My name is Ashanti and welcome to Uniquely Ashanti's Corner. This is part 2 of my update video where I'm talking about my struggle with post-graduation depression. And if you have not seen part 1, please go and check that out now before you watch this video so you'll be able to understand fully what's been going on with me in this time in my life. I will leave a link down in the description box so you can be able to easily access it. And if it is not there, please let me know because I most likely forgot to include it because I am notorious for doing stuff like that. So please just bring that to my attention. I would greatly appreciate it. So with that being said, let's get started. So as I was preparing for graduation, I was panicking about not getting anything published and coming to terms with the fact that I would have to work from home since I'm currently not driving right now. I don't want to rely on my mom to get me to and from work. I already knew that this wasn't going to work, and so I never even considered that. I felt the pressure of it all just sitting heavily on me, and I really started to feel like I wasted my time trying to be a writer since I kept getting all these declines from magazines. I was like, I must not be a good writer. Were people just lying to me when they said I was good? I mean, what can I do now if I fail as a writer? Should I have listened to my mentors when they said that I should get a backup plan? Should I have gotten a minor? So many questions were just consistently swarming around my head and I just could not escape it. And then graduation day came and that day was off to a bumpy start. It was raining and it was cold outside. And then there were other issues that arose, but that is a whole other different story. And I may share that story with you guys in the future. I remember the day before I graduated, my father came in the room and he saw that I was discouraged from receiving more declines from magazines, and he said that I needed to just focus on my graduation because it was a time for celebrating my accomplishments. I knew that my father was right, but this wasn't easy for me. Me graduating from college was very different from me graduating high school. In high school, I was happy and really looking forward to starting a new chapter in my life. But in comparison to when I graduated from college, I felt numb. I put a smile on my face and tried to act like I was excited around my peers. I was yelling, "Yay, we finally made it, we're officially graduates." And I thought that if I forced myself to be happy, then I would actually start believing it. But it was all just an act. And after the graduation, we went back home for a little get together, which consisted of my older sister and her fiance, my other siblings, my former tutor, and of course my parents. We had fun. And when everyone left and things got settled down at the house, I realized that the get together was really more of a distraction for me rather than a celebration. And the truth is, I never really took the time to congratulate myself on finishing college. At that moment, I felt like I accomplished nothing. And once people went home and the house calmed down, that's when these thoughts came right on back. And this was a continuous thing that I went through for weeks after graduating. In the daytime, I would be fine. Nothing was bothering me. But once nighttime came, that's when I felt like I was consistently being attacked by all of these thoughts that was affecting my sleep and sense of peace. Um, the first few weeks after graduating were really, really tough for me because I seriously felt like I was going nowhere in my life. People that I knew in high school and in college had moved on with their lives. And some of them have already gotten married, have children, and they're doing good in their lives. Now, I'm not in a rush to get married. I'm perfectly fine waiting until God brings the right man into my life because I don't want to rush into a relationship that quickly crumbles. I'm not stressing over that, so let's get that out of the way. Let's make that clear. And while I was glad to see people I knew doing great, that's when I noticed comparison slowly starting to creep into the picture for me. When you see people around the same age as you succeeding in their career, it's easy for you to feel like that you did something wrong. And you start beating yourself up about it. And social media certainly doesn't make it certainly doesn't make you feel better, because when you see these graduates talking about how they're living their best life and are all smiles, you're like, where did I go wrong in my journey? What did I do? And I also started to feel really lonely during this time. Even though I'm here with my family, I don't have any friends. Just a bunch of acquaintances. Yeah, just a bunch of acquaintances. It's always been a challenge for me to make friends with those around the same age as me because I have an old soul. I embrace morals and values. I'm not trying to impress others. I'm not caught up in trends. I'm not caught up in reality shows and going to clubs. I'm confident in the way that God created me to be. In high school, I just had a bunch of acquaintances that I got along with, and we had decent conversations from time to time, and we had some good laughs. But we never hung out with each other. Nobody invited me to go anywhere, and it didn't seem like we really clicked with each other, you know? And not to mention, I encountered a lot, and I do mean a lot, of people who only wanted to be my friend just so they could use me. I cut out a lot of people in my life. And when I got into college, people basically had their own groups talking about things that didn't grab my interest. And a lot of times, the only time classmates talked to each other was to ask about upcoming assignments or when we had some type of group work to do or a group project. And students were mostly focused on achieving their own individual goals in the classroom. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. You know, making sure you're on top of your studies, because I'm serious about that too. But since my peers and I were on different levels, and in addition to me going to 3 different colleges, I pretty much kept my head in my studies. And on top of that, I still encountered people who wanted to use me. However, I did come across one young lady who I used to have really meaningful conversations with. We took a class together, became study partners, and we became really good acquaintances. So I decided to reach out to her since it had been a while. Has it been? Yeah, it's been a while. And I was hoping to maybe find someone who could relate to the struggle I was going through after graduating. But she has a baby now, she's married, busy with work, so it's really hard to keep that conversation going between us. And I completely understand, I totally understand. She has her own life and other commitments to attend to. I mean, how can I possibly be mad about something like that? Anyone who's actually bothered by something like that, there's something seriously wrong with that person. I'm just going to be honest. So, just out of curiosity, I decided to go onto YouTube and I typed in life after college. I just decided to just type that in randomly to see if other people felt the same way as me. And this is how I was introduced to the term post-graduation depression. Every single one of those videos that I watched explain all, I do mean all, the feelings I was experiencing. the lack of motivation, feeling hopeless, comparing yourself to others, fearing the future, feeling like a couch potato, loneliness, days where you just want to cry, feeling disorganized. I mean, I didn't even know such a thing existed because college doesn't warn you about that. I mean, sure, they tell you that it may be tough in the career world and they tell you to believe in yourself, but they don't tell you anything about post-graduation depression. I mean, not all graduates deal with this, but it turns out that a lot of them do go through this without even realizing it, like me. And so it made me feel a little bit better to see that I wasn't the only one experiencing this. And one of the positive things about graduating college is, at least for me, is that I don't have to deal with student loan debt like a lot of other students talk about. So I'm glad that's not an issue. But there is some good news. In the middle of January 2019, I got an acceptance letter for one of my nonfiction stories that I wrote from a magazine I submitted to. And I was so overjoyed by this that I just started shaking. I fell to my knees and I just thanked Jesus for finally allowing me to get one of my articles published. I can't even describe to y'all. I was just so excited and happy. I was like, finally something has been published. And y'all, I did the ugly cry. When I say the ugly cry, I do mean the ugly cry. I was just well, I was like, ah. Anyone who knows me personally knows that I usually have a nonchalant attitude about things, and I never, do you hear me, ever cry when I am happy. I never understood how people could cry when they're happy because I always used to associate it with sadness all the time. It's just something that seemed weird to me. I was like, if somebody is happy, then why in the world are they crying? I couldn't quite understand that. And since I got that acceptance email for that nonfiction story I wrote, now I finally understand it. It's all clear to me now. And looking back at that moment, I feel like I cried because this helped to show me that I am a good writer. I was at a point where I wanted to give up because I thought I did not have what it takes. So this boosted my confidence and gave me the drive to keep searching for more magazines to submit to. But unfortunately, that positive feeling slowly started to fade away as I continued to look for more magazines and soon started to look into how to start a blog. And since I'm currently looking into being a freelance writer, I feel like blogging would be a good start. However, looking up various magazines to submit to along with researching information for blogging can be a very overwhelming process. I didn't know that so much goes into blogging, especially if you're looking into paying money to start a blog. I was looking into blogging for free at first, but it turns out that there are a lot of risk factors when it comes to it, such as the host website, which you do not own, could go bankrupt, revamp the website, remove your content without giving you reasons why. And since I'm serious about writing, I do not want this to happen, okay? We already know what happened. I told y'all about part 1, what happened to me. I am not trying to have a repeat happen again. So, starting a blog can be as low as $5 a month, depending on the host site that you're using. And the plan is to put forth some of my money to cover the cost, and my father told me that he's willing to help me if need be. And at first, I'm going to be honest, I was very hesitant on this because I don't want to rely on someone, especially my parents, to pay for this, since it would be my blog and I don't want to make it anybody else's responsibility. I just didn't, uh, how can I say this? It felt weird to me. But my father, he told me that as my parent, he wants to help me in any way he can for me to be successful. So I do appreciate that. I'm still trying to figure things out. So there are no solid details yet, but when I do start the blogging thing, I will definitely let you guys know so you guys can check it out, okay? So I'm trying to figure out if I should just focus on looking for blogging information right now, or if I should devote a certain amount of time in the day for each thing, like this amount of hours for blogging and then this amount of hours for looking for magazines. I'm still trying to figure out like what is the best choice for me to do here. I mean, I think the overload of me just looking up all of this all at once is what has me feeling all these emotions all over again. So I recently started looking at more postgraduate depression videos to seek some type of advice on how to handle it, because I definitely needed some help. And these videos share some very good tips. And one of the various tips that I decided to take heed to is what I am doing right now, getting this off of my chest. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I was very, 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 very hesitant on talking to you all about this, because this channel is where I share advice on various topics. And if I do share an experience that I've been through, it's something that's happened weeks, months, even years ago. It's something that I overcame already and can share some tips I learned from it. But this post-graduation thing is still something that I'm going through and trying to overcome as we speak. Or I should probably say as I speak, since I'm the one that's talking here. I have my good days. I have my bad days. And while those experiencing this are told that they have to keep moving forward, this is easier said than done. I took a break from YouTube because not only did I lose motivation, like I had already told you guys in my last update video, my mind it wasn't in the right place. I wasn't in the right headspace. I didn't want to come on here with just any type of mindset, because that would be dishonest. I want to put out content that I'm proud of. And another reason why I was skeptical on sharing this with you guys is because I'm still trying to figure things out. The common questions that college graduates deal with are you going to get your master's degree? Have you started applying to jobs yet? When are you going to get a job? And speaking of which, in case anybody's already wondering, I do not plan on getting my master's degree or going to graduate school. Just putting that out there. And I don't think people asking these questions really understand how hard it is for graduates to face these questions. It's hard for me, especially when I see their fake smiles and their faces will be telling me something different. Their face will be like, now why aren't you doing this yet? And why aren't you going to get your master's degree? This is why so many young people today, okay, this is why they feel so much pressure. We want to rush and rush and rush and rush and rush to reach our goals because we're afraid of letting our loved ones down. And we feel like that there is a set time for when we are supposed to be successful in our desired career interests. I mean, I already have dealt with people who have been shooting these questions at me, and I just did not want to face it on my YouTube channel, telling you the truth. I felt like that if I was bombarded with these comments, then it would make my anxiety feel much worse. If I had to constantly read comments asking me this over and over and over again, I was just like, what am I going to do if I'm faced with all this on my channel? People asking me all this. I'm already dealing with this already. What if I deal with that on my channel? But it's like many graduates have said in many of the videos that I have seen, by sharing your story, you can actually help others by showing them that they are not alone in this. And on top of that, it helps the person sharing the story because they're releasing it. Now, I don't expect to feel an instant sense of relief from sharing this story with you guys, but I hope that a little bit of that weight that I have been carrying for all this time that I have been away from YouTube, that it'll be lifted from me sharing it. Just a little bit of weight. If I'm able to get a little bit of this weight off of me, I've accomplished my goal. I decided that I'm going to be brave enough to share this challenge with you guys, even if that means that I have to face some negative criticism or a bunch of questions about where I'm at in my life. If it happens, it happens, and I'm just going to deal with it. A perfect example of how sharing your story can help others is when I saw a video from a young lady where she was talking about not having friends in college. Like me, she went to 3 different colleges. I know, crazy, right? 3 different colleges as a result of the other 2 not working out for her. And she talked about how it was hard to connect with college students because they had their own groups, they were mostly focused on their own goals, and how going to different colleges played a significant role in her struggle to make friends since she wasn't there long enough to make friends. And in addition to this, she said that she did not join any organizations herself while she was in college. And the reason for that is because she wanted to devote her time to, what was it? I believe it was to build her YouTube channel. Yeah, that's what it was. It was to build her YouTube channel and to handle other commitments she had in her life. And this video actually made me feel a little better because, as I mentioned in part 1 of the video, as I'm sure you remember, I was feeling really weird about not joining organizations while in college. And it was good to hear someone talking about how difficult it is to make friends in college. It was really a relatable video for me. And I just want to say that if any of you are getting ready to graduate or have already graduated, please know that we will get through this. Trust me, trust me, I know how hard this is, okay? Especially if you have people around you pressuring you to start making some of that money, okay? My mom, let me tell y'all, my mom constantly comes to me with different make money quick ideas for me to consider, which I politely decline because it's not the route that I want to travel. I mean, I feel that pressure to start making money, and I don't want to let my parents down. While I do want to start making money, I want to choose something that works best for me. And I just want to give a huge congrats to all the graduates watching this video right now. You made it, and you should feel proud of yourself. You really should. If you're experiencing post-graduation depression or anxiety right now like me, talk about it with family members, friends. Look up information about it like I had to do to get tips, and try to get involved in some of your favorite hobbies. Also, I know that this is very, very hard to do, but do not compare yourself to others. It is poisonous. Do you hear me? Poisonous. Don't do it. Take a break from social media if you need to. in order to get back on track. I beg of you, please give your brain a break. Do your brain a favor. We have to remember that people are always going to show the good stuff on social media, okay? It took hard work and lots of time for them to get to where they are right now. We all have our own journey to travel, and we'll get there when the time is right. Stay strong, okay? Also, don't let anyone try to rush you during this time. It's okay to not know exactly where you're going right now. Not everyone has their dream job waiting for them after they get out of college, and that is fine. It's fine. It doesn't mean that you are a failure. This does not mean that you are a failure. Don't listen to that voice that says that you are a failure. Don't listen to it. This is something that I have to constantly remind myself, and you got to do the same thing, okay? I encourage you to pray and ask God to give you strength during this time. You have to stay in prayer. It is vital. And as hard as it is, you have got to work towards having a positive attitude. We shall overcome this in the name of Jesus. We got this. You got to trust it. You got to believe it. We got this. We're going to overcome this, okay? We are. So I want to take this time to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you guys so very, very much for being so understanding about me taking a break. You guys are always understanding when I have to take a break. As y'all know, sometimes I take a hiatus when, I think the only time I really took hiatuses was when I would be really busy with school. So I really do appreciate that. I truly appreciate that you guys did not pressure me to make more videos. You respected that I needed space to figure out things in my life. And I want you guys to know, whether you're a newcomer or you've been following me for a while, you're a returning supporter, I truly do appreciate your kindness and support. Thank you to those of you who have been praying for me. It is greatly appreciated. If you could please keep me in your prayers, that would mean a lot to me. You guys are always in my prayers. I don't know if I can say that I'm officially back on YouTube, to be honest with you. I'm not sure when I'm going to do another video right now. I just know that I wanted to talk about this and engage in some dialogue in the comment section. If you can relate to anything in this two-part video, whether you're currently, I was about to say currently, what the heck? Whether you're currently going through this or just general thoughts, please leave your thoughts down below. I would love to hear from you. I really want to get a discussion started. I want to talk in the comments. So definitely leave your thoughts. And if you do leave a comment, please refrain from profane language. Even if it's an abbreviation, then please be respectful. Thank you so much for tuning in into this two-part video. I know it's a lot that I had to say, and that's why I broke it up into two parts, because if I left it as one big video, that would have been like, I don't know, probably between 20 to 40 minutes, and I did not want to do that to y'all. Y'all have a life. I don't want y'all to be wasting all that time trying to watch little old me, okay? I know y'all have busy lives too. I didn't want to do that to y'all. So God bless you all, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.